Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Major Heath Brown, your MC for today's event. Please find your positions and silence any electronic devices. What a spectacular day here in Rocket City, USA. To our distinguished guests, military leaders, and all of those here to share in this historic ceremony, welcome. We are gathered to celebrate a pivotal new chapter for our command as we take our first steps in realizing the President's announcement that designated Redstone as the permanent home of the United States Space Command. Although we have many steps still to make, today we do as Neil Armstrong did and take one small step, which represents one giant leap that will propel us towards the final creation of a purpose built headquarters and the transition of more than 1,800 Space Command personnel to their new home here at Redstone. Today, we cut the ribbon, making the way for the first operational Space Command headquarters element to be stationed at Redstone. This is an important day in which the Space Command joins the Redstone team and this North Alabama community, which is such a hub of American innovation, in the never ending journey to defend the ultimate high ground and ensure there is never a day without space. To officially mark this milestone and share what this moment means for our command in this community, it is my honor to introduce the United States Space Command Commander, General Stephen Whiting.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a truly historic day here in Rocket City, and you honor us with your presence. First, a heartfelt thanks to distinguished guests, partners, and friends who have joined us for this momentous occasion. Mayor Battle, Representative Moore, and to all our distinguished community leaders, thank you for North Alabama's steadfast support, which has been instrumental in getting us here today. And thank you for your never failing support. And to the U.S. Army leadership team here at Redstone, including Colonel Aaron Eike and the entire U.S. Army Garrison team, thank you for welcoming us and working alongside us every step of the way to make this transition as smooth as possible. In addition, I want to thank the DIA Director, Lieutenant General Adams, and DIA Facilities, Logistics, and Services, as well as the DIA Chief Information Officer and DIA Security for being such great teammates operationally and now in the facilities arena as well. I'd also like to recognize the MISIC Director, Steve Rush. Thank you. And thank you to your staff for easing the transition into this building and into the garrison. We know we would not be welcoming our first operational staff members to Redstone today in this facility without your and DIA's remarkable support. As I've said before, our partnerships have been the foundation of our success, and we are here today thanks to all of your efforts. I'd also like to recognize our partners from the FBI who are here with us as well. David Fitzgibbons, Kevin Jones, Jessica Orange, and Jessica Maley. As one of the key tenant organizations here on Redstone Arsenal, your willingness to collaborate and share lessons learned have been instrumental in helping U.S. Space Command through this transition. We are grateful to have you alongside us. I'd also like to extend a big thanks to Major General Lowry of the Army Contracting Command, the Regional Network Enterprise Center, and our Redstone Transition Team for your tireless work in moving us toward our goal of a purpose-built integrated warfighting headquarters. The team on the ground under the leadership of Major General Grisham and Colonel Rusko have done a tremendous job acquiring and renovating temporary facilities that we can move into soonest. Thank you for all the work you have done and all the work you will continue to do for us on the Arsenal. And a final thanks again to Colonel Eike and Command Sergeant Major Fritz from the Redstone Garrison and Joey Skinner and the entire Department of Public Works team for all your work since this move started back in September. Today, we cut the ribbon on more than just a building. This facility represents a critical step forward for U.S. Space Command. This is where we plant our flag for the first operational element of our headquarters, the Joint Intelligence Support Element here at Redstone Arsenal. Today is about the people and the mission behind it. By the end of this year, these offices will be full with an 80-person team delivering the critical intelligence that underpins our freedom of movement in the space domain. And this team is just the beginning, what I like to call our first launch, of a 200+ Space Command team, which will be on Redstone by the end of the year. I'd like to introduce you all to our first members of the JICE, our pioneers and pathfinders of our operational staff. Please take a step forward as I call your names, and let's hold our applause until I've announced them all. The JICE director, Mr. Robert Campbell, a Tennessee native son. Robert, thank you. Our XO, Major Heath Brown, an Alabama native son. Our facilities lead, Mr. Frank Becker. Our IT lead, Mr. Peter Corona. Our security lead, Mr. Russell Rogers. Also working our security section, Mr. Charles Messer. Our counterintelligence team, Captain Matthew Ontiveros and Captain William Zimmerman. And in addition to these JICE members, our initial group of invaluable supporting contractors includes, working in the counterintelligence team, Mr. Mark Knight, an Alabama native son. Mark. Also working in security, Mr. Reginald Jackson, an Alabama native son. Also from security, Mr. Tom Clark. And then also in security, Miss Betty Branch, an Alabama native daughter. Let's give them all a round of applause. Last September, the president named Redstone Arsenal the permanent home for U.S. Space Command. That decision was a pivotal moment for us today, and we are now turning it into reality. This is just the first of several ribbon cuttings, so we're all going to get very good at this. In closing, as we celebrate America's 250th anniversary, it is fitting that we take these steps together. For 2.5 centuries, we have been explorers, innovators, and guardians of freedom. From the first pioneers who pushed westward to the engineers who carried us to the moon, our history is defined by breaking barriers. Today, the men and women of U.S. Space Command carry that legacy forward, joining the leaders and innovators of Rocket City to shape the future of the space domain. And I'm excited to announce today that in about 6 weeks, we are going to bring our senior U.S. Space Command staff and service component commanders and senior enlisted leaders together here on Redstone for our semi-annual leadership planning event, which we also call our Commanders Conference. This will be the first time we've hosted this conference in the Huntsville community, and we look forward to not only using this event to align our mission priorities and synchronize operational plans across the command, but also to introduce many of our command leaders to Redstone Arsenal and this wonderful community for the very first time. Today is our launch point. From here, we will build, grow, and operate from Redstone Arsenal to ensure there is never a day without space. Thank you again for being here with us.
Thank you, General Whiting. As the General has highlighted, achieving this milestone is never done in a vacuum and is the result of dedication, vision, and collaboration. Before we bring out the scissors, we'd like to take a moment to recognize some of the tireless work, some of the instrumental team members whose leadership and tireless work made this event possible, from navigating the complexities of building acquisitions to ensuring every cable and wire are in their proper place. Their contributions were vital to Space Command being able to take this step today. It is now my distinct pleasure to recognize these individuals. Lieutenant Colonel James Chase, U.S. Space Command J63. Mr. Sam McCullen, U.S. Space Command J23. Mr. David Washburn, U.S. Army Garrison, Department of Public Works. Ms. Kayla Hamby, U.S. Army Garrison, Department of Public Works. Ms. Kelly Denny, Missile and Space Intelligence Center. Mr. Brian Taplin, Defense Intelligence Agency. Mr. Ryan Williams, U.S. Army Garrison, Department of Public Works. Ms. Joanna Crawford, Regional Network Enterprise Center, Central. Accepting on behalf of Ms. Crawford is Ms. Tiffany Sprinkle, Regional Network Enterprise Center, Central. One more round of applause. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to officially mark a new era for U.S. Space Command in Rocket City. I would like to invite General Whiting, Lieutenant General Adams, Major General Grisham, Brigadier General Rusin, Colonel Ike, Chief Master Sergeant Lodge, and Command Sergeant Major Fritz to the front to cut the ribbon. This ribbon represents the trajectory burn to take position taken to position U.S. Space Command into its official operational orbit here at Redstone Arsenal. Sir, you are a go for cut. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Space Command headquarters is now officially operational in Alabama. Congratulations to everyone involved. Thank you for joining us today. We invite you to stay for refreshments and take part in the guided tour of the facility by our JICE team. For those who have been cleared for the tour, please see Mr. Frank Becker. Go, Mr. Becker. And we will provide your guided tour. Thank you again for sharing this moment with us, and have a great rest of your day.